What's going on YouTube? This is yours truly, Dre the Plug, reporting live with some more technical heat. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button below. Make sure y'all hit that bell below so y'all can stay notified every single time I drop new technical heat. But let's get into it, man. Let's jump right back into these interviews. I just finished a whole bunch of sponsorship product videos, so definitely go check all of those out. Some of them I never even seen in person, so I thought it was really dope. And then on top of that, also did a couple of electronic projects, so definitely go check out those previous videos I did. But now I'm about to jump right back into my interview videos where I interview different people all across the country. Let's get into it. Roll the clip.
Hi everyone, my name is Cristina. I'm a mechanical engineer. I went to Preview A&M. I'm currently in Houston working as a senior design engineer for a valve manufacturing company. I own an online boutique for hair products.
All right, Cristina, so what made you want to jump into doing engineering?
That's interesting. I actually didn't want to be an engineer growing up. Ever since I was little, back home, which is actually Equatorial Guinea, where I was born, and I'm from there. I used to love lawyers. I used to tell my friends and my mom and my dad, don't get into trouble because I want to be a lawyer and I'll have to like help you guys get out of any trouble you get into. And I went to Spain when I was fairly young, and that's where I was raised. And I remember loving that show called Alice McBeal. So I always knew from an early age that I wanted to be a lawyer, not an engineer. Funny enough, I moved to Texas when I was 15 and oil and gas, of course. My stepdad was in the engineering field, and but I still wanted to be a lawyer. And as I was starting my arts degree for me to then go to law school, I realized that I just didn't like that it was up to people to interpret. After all my research, after building my case, it's gonna still be up to one person to be like, well, you did not convince me. So with science, I feel like I had more of a final conclusion that couldn't be disputed. I actually, back in Spain, my art teacher and my math teacher were always trying to like compete to convince me to take on a field that was related to what they were teaching me, because I've always been versatile at both of them. I enjoyed both of them. So it was easy when I decided to transition into engineering, because I feel like I can still build cases, I still do research, I put everything together, but you cannot dispute science. So I really enjoyed that. That's why I went into engineering. But the reason I decided to become a mechanical engineer, I did all my research and chemistry wasn't for me. Not all of the chemistry, especially organic chemistry, but I've always helped at home. Anytime something would break, they'll come to me, oh, the TV, fix this, the radio, fix this, and I enjoyed it. I was good with my hands and in my tomboyish way. So that kind of helped me be more into mechanical engineering than other engineering fields, because I felt like it was broad and I didn't want to limit myself as well.
All right, Cristina, so what do you feel is the biggest benefit when jumping into, becoming a mechanical engineer?
That's an interesting question. I would say the biggest benefit of being an engineer, especially a mechanical engineer, would be problem solving and critical thinking that can be applied in anything in my personal day-to-day life. I find myself thinking about contingency plans. What can go wrong? Plan B, C. And that helps me kind of protect myself from being too hasty when making decisions, which I like to plan, so that just works out. One thing I would say is last year I was touring houses and I actually had all of these spreadsheets of the specs of the house, lot size, house size, number of bedrooms, and property tax calculations and HOA, all of that. And I remember the realtor told me, you're an engineer, right? So it's expected of us. Everything you learn in school builds you to be versed in critical thinking.
Okay, Cristina, so you touched on being in oil and gas, you touched on the valve companies, and also, you worked at Boeing. So what's something that you did not expect being in all those different industries?
What is something I didn't expect? Actually, as a mechanical engineer, I always saw myself working in oil and gas. which is where I had my first internship with Baker Hughes in Equatorial Guinea. Lots of hands-on opportunity, and I enjoyed it because it kind of related to whatever I was going to school with fluid dynamics and all that. However, as graduation came closer and I saw all the companies coming to school and I attended career fairs, SUI conference, Society of Women Engineers. I also went to NESB, and as a mechanical engineer, you can apply almost at all the companies at those conferences. It's the broadest field of engineering. And at NESB is where I interview and obtain my first job with Boeing, which they relocated me in Charleston, South Carolina. You actually interviewed one of my fellow engineers from Charleston, Joel. Him and I were part of the Society of Hispanic Engineers in Boeing, and that's where I met him. So I saw one of the videos the other day. I thought it was interesting. However, I wanted to be back in Houston more permanently. And that's when I started seeking jobs. And I didn't necessarily want to be in oil and gas because how volatile it is. And that's where I started working for this valve manufacturing company, Bray, which I enjoyed very much. As a mechanical engineer, Bray is all about mechanical engineer. You think about stress analysis, you kind of have control of your design from beginning to end. You get to design it, you get to do validation, testing on it, and you get to troubleshoot and support it in the field and doing production testing. I actually started my role more of like a new product development, and now I've transitioned into sustaining all three types of butterfly valves.
All right, Cristina, so what got you into these two different side hustles?
That's a good question. I am first generation, so it's very important for me to build generational wealth. And I could see students without student loans. As a foreigner, I've seen a lot of international students, and I see the benefits of focusing just on school and having no distractions. So I kind of want to build that for my family, and having other streams of income will put me closer to that goal. My first side hustle, as you call it, it is my online store. It's called Porcelana Velas. I started it at Preview, actually. I used to get a lot of compliments on my hair extensions, and I said, why not monetize it? So I talked to my supplier and got discounts for it to be like wholesale, and then I resold it here at school. I stopped once my career got busier. Before senior year, I was project lead and it was time consuming, you know. So I only went back to it last year during the pandemic. I saw an opportunity to start my entrepreneur endeavors. And it's an online store focusing on hair extensions, lace frontals, ponytails, anything to amplify the beauty of a woman. And my second side hustle, like you call it, would be my real estate side hustle. I love interior design. I love decoration, and I've always helped my friends find apartments. I've always had friends know things about builders, and I felt like I would like to monetize what I already know. I got my real estate license a month ago. It's called on social media Alto Realty Group, and it is based in Houston, you know, but we cover all of Texas, anyone. But yeah, I really enjoy interior design, and I actually think it relates to engineering. In the future, I do see myself maybe building some of the products of interior design. I don't know exactly what, but that's what I wanted to eventually grow into and tie it back to my passion for engineering.
All right, Cristina, tell me some of the challenges you faced. You know, you come in from Spain at age 15 to H-Town to Houston, coming to the US. Tell us some challenges that you faced.
Well, if it's not obvious, English is not my first language, so that was the first challenge that I had. Spanish is my first language, and so I had to learn English, I had to use my dictionary from class to class. In biology, translating everything to understand what it says. So yeah, that was challenging. A big surprise was when I got ready to take a test and I saw multiple choice. In Spain, at least in high school, the formatting is essay format for exams. So you have to memorize or understand the subject enough to be able to re-explain it in your own words. So when I saw the answer right there, I was like, oh, it's like I'm cheating. It's like right there staring back at me. So that was interesting. One last thing I will say is that I get asked by friends of mine and family members if I would like work in Spain. I do not see me working in Spain. I think that the work environment in America works for me, in the US, because Spain tends to be a little bit more relaxed, which is fine later on in my career, but I don't think it's what works for me right at the beginning.
All right, Cristina, so what's something that you'll want to leave the viewer off with as far as, becoming a mechanical engineer, jumping into it, even being a woman in engineering? Just touched on what you want to leave them with.
So going on closing remarks, I will say, especially as a woman in engineering, don't sell yourself short. Your voice matters. You always have something to add to the table that other people may not have. So for example, I focus on going for everything that would make me be able to get where I wanted to go in life. In school, I went for ASME president and I got it. I went for that interview at SUI conference and I got it. I went for my current role, pretty young in my career to have the senior title and I got it. So go for whatever you want. Don't set yourself short.
All right, Cristina, tell the people about your website and your Instagram so, people can reach out to you and stay in contact with you if they have any questions about any of your side hustles and engineering.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. If you need any hair, beauty, items, extensions to amplify your beauty, you can go ahead and find us at www.porcelanavelas.com. Or you can find me on Instagram at porcelanavelas. And we're going to have 10% discount going on for the whole site, all products. And if you're in the Houston area, greater Houston area, and you need a realtor, you can find me at Alto Realty Group. If you need to sell, buy, rent, or invest, I'll be here to help you. Thank you.
And that concludes this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It really do help my channel when it comes down to the YouTube algorithm. If you guys have any questions regarding anything, just hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on the gram at DreThePlug123. And then also go check out my other YouTube channel. This is actually my second channel. My first one was called Andre ClassicCuts. I basically go in and give tutorials about all types of different haircuts. I actually show people how to do different type of things with the clippers that has never been done. And I pretty much go into detail as to why certain things happen. So definitely go check out that channel. Besides that, be on the lookout for my next content that's dropping. Be on the lookout for it because it's coming real soon. And I'm out.